So much going on. I feel fabulous in some ways. I just got my lashes done today because, Emily's amazing. And I got my hair done earlier in the week, last week with Kathy, and she makes me look like a queen. So in those ways, I'm feeling great. I can tell you this, that I'm sleeping pretty decently. There's only a few nights here and there that I don't sleep well, but for the most part, I'm sleeping okay. Um, Posted that I was at the doctor again today. It was a follow up with my gynecologist, and we had a very pleasant conversation in regards to the last 8-9 months for me. We've gone in the wrong direction. Um, I did sit in that office in the other office 8 months ago when I started HRT. And then when I went back and they upped the dosage, my question was like, how do we know that I'm not getting too much estrogen? And the response was, not going to name any names, but the response from someone in their office was, estrogen dominance is not a thing. I politely, continued the appointment and left the office and went about everything. Sometimes some conversations, just aren't worth having. So I continue to involve myself in podcasts and, various people in the wellness industry and in menopause. And I see someone else locally who is, very well versed in that area. But I've been increasingly heading in the wrong direction. Um, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but estrogen uptake, methylation, processing, all is not a one-stop shop. So I'm not angry at one person. I'm not angry at an office. I'm not angry at one doctor. I'm just angry that we all don't talk to one another. I've had the same doctors for a very long time. I'm very open. I'm very honest. I'm very, see them regularly, send messages on my chart. They're all U of R. So they all have the ability to talk to one another too. I know I'm one person and I'm not going to change the system, but I'm also not going to be eaten alive by the system. So I made a valiant effort to try HRT. I don't think it's for me. If I give you, some history, when I was in my teens and 20s, I tried multiple different types of birth control and none of them worked for me. They were too strong. I am someone who is very sensitive to medications. When I had my wisdom teeth out, I don't remember 3 days of my life, and that was just from Tylenol with codeine. So I just know that I'm very sensitive to pharmaceutical drugs, which is why I tend to not take them. So here I am. I've been through 2 rounds of antibiotics for SIBO bacteria in my gut, and I'm still sick. I probably have killed all the mitochondria in my stomach. I'm increasingly having infections, increasingly sick, fatigue. I'm a decreased version of myself. I'm someone who walks and hikes and bikes and kayaks and does things. And like I said in my post, I have a zest for life. I am a happy person and I like to do things and be outside, and I have an intolerance for heat. So like right now I want to be outside weeding because it's crazy overgrown, but I can't. I have to wait until the sun dies down a little bit, which I absolutely love it outside. I can go outside right now and sit in the shade for the next 2 hours and I'm fine. So that's really tough. It's really tough not being able to show up as me. I'm in yoga certification and I've missed so many hours that I won't graduate, and that's okay. I'm already a certified yoga teacher. I'm going to be continuing to take certifications. I have multiple certifications in other areas in the wellness space. So while I was disappointed with my body and not being able to do things and missing time with the people that I'm taking it with, I was able to do this past weekend. David G was in town, who I have a certification with for meditation teacher training, and it was wonderful to see him. And I got to spend the entire weekend, and I made it okay. I was nauseous for a bit of it, but I got through it. I've been very simplistic with my eating and just being very cautious about things, and I made it. I was a little tired yesterday, but I pulled through, and it was a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So it is affecting my life in a lot of ways, many, many ways. And I got so frustrated that I've broken down crying a few times and just said, I'm not doing anything anymore. I'm taking the patch off. I am not taking anything anymore. The only thing I will continue doing is the estradiol cream because I've seen great benefit from that. I may change it to a compound at the compound pharmacy. Because as many of you may or may not know, the ingredients in many of these products are toxic and not great for you. And there is a known chemical in estradiol cream that they also use to de-ice planes. De-ice planes. So I'd like to get a more non-toxic version of that. I haven't seen any side effects. I will tell you that right now. But as you continue to put things on your body and your body takes it in, just like chlorine in a pool, and your body can't process it and break it down and get rid of it, it can be a problem. So while I'm not seeing any side effects from it, I just would feel better if I got a compound and it was a better version of that. So that's the only thing I think I'll change. I picked up the testosterone, but I have not started taking it, and I'm not going to do that. At that point, it just doesn't feel right. I'm putting more stuff in, and things aren't working now, so I don't want to add more to it. So I lowered the dose of the HRT patch this morning. I will do that for a week, and then I will go completely off of it. I have not been taking the progesterone at night. It was 100 milligrams. Didn't see any side effects, but I also didn't see any value in it after 2.5 months. So I'm not doing that anymore. So like I said, the only thing I'm going to be doing is the estradiol cream for now. I think once I'm off everything, I'll see what my baseline is, get some more data points, and really understand where I'm at. I do understand some of the symptoms, and while they are difficult, at least I understand when they're coming on and can manage them to some degree. And there's just such huge fluctuations in things during perimenopause that throwing things at symptoms sometimes isn't really the best. And that's what we're doing right now. And I'm just not really for that. It's not my ball game. So that's where I'm at. I have been pretty sick since the middle of April. Pretty sick. I can't really eat a lot. Everything I eat does bother my stomach. So I've basically gone down to like the brat diet. Bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast with some variants here and there. I've added bone broth because I'm really trying to rebuild the mitochondria and my gut microbiome after being on antibiotics for 2 different rounds. The only way I just made it home from Mexico was being on Zofran and like a gel to help the stomach. That's the only really way I made it home. It was incredibly difficult being in the airport and on planes, but I can say this. My second trip to Mexico was really great. It was very relaxing. We had a wonderful time. I am aware that on a daily basis, I can only show up 60 to 75% of myself. I have an amazing support system, and they understand that right now for me, and they are incredibly supportive. As you all know, I say it all the time, Ozer is an angel. So I'm unbelievably grateful and thankful to him for everything he does for me. And understanding and just being so kind and loving. So I made it home. But we had a good time. I was able to show up and do some things and have a good time and relax. And I think that's what we both really needed too. We are adventurers and like to do things, and we did some of that. But the day before we left, I got pretty sick again. And, it was a real struggle to make it home the next day. I thought I was going to be stuck in Mexico, to be honest with you. So I'm thankful I'm home, got to sleep in our own bed, and get back to the things that we need to do. And I'm tackling each day as I can and just being soft and gentle and patient. So this is the new path. I'm stopping everything. I'm going to see how I feel every day, take things slow, get some new data points, and try to go from there. I've spoken with a new functional health doctor, not locally. And I really liked their program. I really liked their concepts. I really liked everything that they were tackling. They have some amazing reviews. But as you know, it's not covered by insurance. So it'd be a hefty price tag for me over the next year. So it's rattling around. I haven't said no, but I'm definitely have not said yes. I do have a lead on someone else locally that I'm going to reach out to and see where I can go there. I do have an amazing naturopath, and we did try some natural approaches like black cohosh and some other things. I made an appointment with the gastroenterologist today, so hopefully in the next few days or a few weeks I'll get an appointment there. Yeah. I also can tell you this, which is really cool and helpful. Before I went to Mexico, we left on Tuesday. The Wednesday before we left, I went to Restore Harper Wellness. Shout out to everyone there because they're amazing. And I got an IV drip for hydration, having been on antibiotics and killing my system. I thought it would be helpful, and I'm someone who gets very dehydrated quickly. When you're nauseous, it's hard to drink water because it just makes you more nauseous. Felt pretty good. And then the Sunday before we left, I got another one, also packed with immuno stuff. So glutathione and thiene and like a ton of other stuff that's super helpful for you. And I have to be honest, I do believe that the reason I did so well on the trip to Mexico was because of that. I really didn't tank until the day before we left. And I truly don't believe it was anything that happened in Mexico. We drank bottled water. Ozer ate the same foods that I did, and he didn't get sick. I do have a little weakened immune system from what's going on with me, so maybe something did bother me that didn't bother him. But I got to be honest with you, I don't think it was anything there. I think it's that I just have these underlying infections and just not, my body's just not functional right now, and maybe some of the bacterial overgrowth is coming back, and that's why I tanked. So we will see. More stuff to come, but I'm just grateful that I don't have anything major. I don't have cancer. I'm not dying. I haven't been diagnosed with anything, life-threatening. While this is impacting my life and is difficult and frustrating and discouraging and all of the things, I'm doing my best. And I know a lot of people out there are doing their best. And, women especially are being super vocal and loud right now in this space. So there's a lot more attention. But there's also a lot of fluff out there right now, too. There's a lot of misinformation, a lot of people saying this should work for you, that should work for you, this is going to work for you. It's not a one-stop shop. Everyone is physiologically and biologically set up differently. Period. Like, what? I can take an aspirin and it's going to help me, and someone else takes aspirin and it doesn't help them. So, everyone is different. Everyone has different fluctuations. I could take a blood test 5 times today and it'll have different, markers for hormones. So I do get it. I do get that it's like throwing something at a wall and trying to figure it out, which is said why I'm not angry with any specific doctor. I'm just angry that we are so far behind in helping women in this space and trying to figure it out and, putting research into it and that. So yeah, I'm doing the things that I know that do help. I'm trying to afford the things that I know help. Um, Trying to tackle every day instead of being depressed, and get back to doing some of the things. So I'm hopeful that in the next, couple of weeks after stopping the HRT and I'm off the progesterone, I'm even considering taking out my IUD because it's progestin. Um, yeah, and going on a compound instead of whatever the estradiol cream. So more to come. If you are out there and you're dealing, not dealing, struggling, so many have reached out to me, which is why I continue kind of making these. And I've met up with people, I've had coffee with people, so I know that we're not alone. Um, and I'll just continue to do this and you know, share with everyone what's going on in my life and all the good things too, all the vacations and posting things and celebrating things and really just enjoying the summer. I was just talking to a friend and I don't think we're really going to do much this summer, and that's okay. Uh, we have a lot going on, a lot of great things, and I think the days that we do have off, we'll spend it together and with family and friends and just relaxing, and we'll take little trips here and there. But yeah, really just enjoying the time, enjoying the weather. It's absolutely gorgeous out. So um, hopefully the steps of healing are in the right direction this time. And as I hear from other doctors and practitioners in this space, I will let you know. Okay.